Hey, it's the Right Rican, and I was reading an article here about. I had heard Ben Shapiro wrote an article for Politico, so I decided to start reading it, and then when I was reading it, I found it funny because um, Politico of all sites, it's a left wing site. Um, but the title of the article is the real reasons most Republicans opposed impeachment. Other than the obvious, there was no real crime. But here he talks about opposition to impeachment comes from a deep, abiding conservative belief that members of the opposing political tribe want their destruction, not simply to punish Trump for his behavior. Republicans believe that Democrats and the overwhelming liberal media see impeachment as an attempt to cudgel them collectively by lumping them in with the Capitol rioters thanks to their support for Trump. And you could see it. You could see it. I spoke about it the other day about with uh, them calling for the resignations of Howley and Cruz, and um, it's ridiculous. And you could see, you know, us right-leaning individuals, we see it. We see the writing in the wall. We saw it. That's why we were quick to condemn the violence. Unlike the other, it's not whataboutism when you point out. Nobody was quick to point out to condemn the violence in the summer. I still go. I still see people who support it. They go, oh well, well we were. Look, listen. However you feel, it's like, people, you can't claim to be against political violence and then go, oh well, protest is supposed to make you feel uncomfortable. Well, if you're doing rioting, of course you're going to make people feel uncomfortable. um, so this, I mean, I would suggest, I'll see if I'll link to the article, but I just wanted to give you a quick overview on this so you could see. Also, you can see here, GoDaddy kicked AR-15.com off, which is, this is crazy. It's like, anything that's not left leaning, they want to ban. I mean, there was, you don't have to like guns to, take money from a gun site to that they post stuff stuff about guns. It's, how hard is that? But then, of course, the left, you can't allow for people on the right to be uh, in the common space. You can't, God forbid they're allowed in polite society. But here we go. It's like from the post millennial. Political cause emergency newsroom meeting after leftists freak out over guest editor Ben Shapiro. And I'm just going to go here so like that because some of the tweets are funny. It's like, I believe that PolitiFact should thoroughly fact check Ben Shapiro's deeply misleading political playbook commentary, which creates numerous easily disproven false equivalencies. Okay. Um, I would appreciate if someone from Political would read all the racist things Ben Shapiro has said about Arabs and Muslims. And it's like, okay, of course, it's always race, race, race. I understand the desire to have balance, but lying about stuff like Ben Shapiro does in this column, comparing Bernie Sanders to Trump, equivocating Trump's voter fraud lies with Stacey Abrams, isn't really a side that needs to be platformed. It's like, it's same exact thing. I mean, inflammatory, heating up the conversation. Whether it was Bernie Sanders and his supporter that got it in his head. It wasn't Bernie Sanders' fault that his supporter got it in his head to shoot up the Republicans at the ball game. Same thing, it wasn't Obama's fault. And was it 2015 when those six cops got killed in Dallas? But it's, this, political speech is always incendiary. It's always emotional. It's always going to strike a chord with people. The only question is, when you say these things, there's going to be crazy people that are going to do stupid things. And, you got to be careful with that. And as an example here, black and brown experts and advocates get deplatformed from talking about Palestine. Ben Shapiro with a history of, oh God, here we go. Horror that Politico gave a platform to Ben Shapiro when he unapologetically gave blah, blah, blah. One staff member complained about Shapiro's alleged long history of bigoted and incendiary Look, Politico's EIC just announced at 3 p.m. My point, conservatives believe that leftists want to ostracize them as evil and then shut them down. Political staff. Conservatives are to be ostracized as evil and then shut down. This is pretty much what's going on. I mean, and if you think that's wrong, then here we go. Here's the famous idiot on CNN. Oh wait, I don't know which one. Is it Fredo or is it Don Lemon? Which is the more famous idiot? They both get on my nerves. But in particular, this is what he was talking about here. You can hear. I'm gonna, for copyright purposes, I'm gonna play little clips and make comments to break it up. But here's the beginning of his diatribe.
Now what you hear is, well, you can't say that everybody who voted for Trump is like the people who went into the Capitol. Response.
You can't say that. What? Everybody's like
everybody who voted for Trump is like them.
And now I just explained to you. If you are on that side, you need to think about the side you're on. I'm never on the side of the Klan. I am never principled people, conservative or liberal, never on the Klan side. Principled people, conservative or liberal, never on the Nazi side.
So principled people are never on. It's crazy. So let's say, David Duke, one of the famous racists in the country. It's like, so let's say, because him and I believe in free market economy, so that means I have to be lumped in with him. What about the racists that believe in socialism, but just for white people? Does that make him and AOC? Does it make them racist because there's a racist that believes in that stuff? I mean, it's ridiculous. Let's keep going.
Who are conservative or liberal, never on the side that treats their fellow Americans as less than, that says that your fellow Americans should not exist, that says your fellow Americans should be in a concentration camp, or that sides with slavery, or sides with any sort of bigotry.
Right, and if they say, I don't agree with those people, I just like Trump's policy.
Well, then get out of the crowd with them. Get out of the crowd with
I wasn't in the crowd, I just voted for Trump.
You're in the crowd who voted for Trump.
So you go. See, if you voted for Trump, but meanwhile, I wish I could pull up a mainstream media news article about this, but the problem is, the left don't cover their crazies. They'll cover the right-wing crazies, and no matter how much we condemn those right-wing crazies, they'll still, they don't cover their left-wing crazies. Here it goes. Leftists suggest re-education camps, firing squads, banning talk radio to deprogram 75 million Trump supporters. And, this is the whole thing. It's an article here, but you can see the guy's tweets, where the guy's talking about, no, seriously, how do we deprogram 75 million people? This is not your standard partisan policy disagreement. This is conspiracy theory fueled belligerent death cult against reality and basic decency. Look, it keeps going. For Christ's sakes, conservatives are literally giving themselves COVID just to own the libs. Like I said, and then let's keep going. Talking about, I would look at Germany and see how they did what they did about Nazis, because you're dealing with the same mentality. Like, really? So political disagreement, let's just do ad hominem Hitler. Was it Hitlerum? Re-education camps for those salvageable, said another. Firing squad for the irredeemable malcontents. I guess they couldn't archive those tweets. I guess they got deleted. But this is the whole thing. I mean, look, steps to deprogramming 7 million deluded people. FCC to revoke Fox News broadcast license. Remove talk radio shows from airwaves through rigorous applications of hate speech laws. Send free newspapers to schools so kids can be exposed to the truth, and free college tuition. So basically, all their pet projects, if you don't agree with that, this is what they need to do. So when they talk to you about hate speech, it's not free speech. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Let's see. Let's finish this last.
If you voted for Trump, you voted for the person who the Klan supported. You voted for the person who Nazis support. You voted for the person who the alt-right supports. That's the crowd that you are in. You voted for the person who incited a crowd to go into the Capitol and potentially take the lives of the lawmakers, took the lives.
As you can see, while he was talking, I switched my screen so you could see KKK Grand Dragon switch his endorsement from Trump to Clinton. Was it, just to put it there, I just thought it was hilarious him talking about this stuff.
Of police officers, took the lives of innocent lives who were there on the Capitol that day. You voted on that side, and the people in Washington are continuing to vote on that side.
So there you go. You're on that side if you voted for Trump. Ridiculous. This is not about Trump. You see how they're going after speech. You see, it's not just Parler. Like I said, AR15.com got taken off. I read Tim Pool, his Facebook was demonetized. Same thing with, I think, Sargon of Akkad. His Facebook page is being restricted. My Facebook page is restricted, and, I can't even promote my stuff on Facebook. So that's why I'm I'm on so many different social media sites so I could put my videos. But this is what we need to be careful with. This is what they want to push for the next year. I mean, for the next 4 years is, if you're with Trump, you're against them. If you're not with them, then, you're a bad person, you're a hateful person. And meanwhile, record numbers of Latinos and blacks voted for Trump. Because some of us, it was never about Trump. We just were annoyed with the way the system's going. So, I hope you enjoyed my video. Please like and subscribe, leave comments. I got some interesting stuff coming up. I'm not gonna play it up too much because I'm just hoping it goes through, but we'll see what happens in the next week or so. So with that being said, have a good one, everyone.